Hi there, Pisces. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for October. Looking at your situation for October and at my notes just now, one of the things that came up for me was the thought of all bets are off. And I really would be a little bit guarded when it comes to any form of speculation this month. That doesn't mean to say you shouldn't have a little flutter if you enjoy it and you can afford it. But if you are thinking about risking large amounts of resources on a long-term project or plan, it really does need to be very well thought through and not something that you're reacting on instinct only. There does need to be a very cerebral analysis of the prospects too. But this month begins with some growing influences. Last month, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and good fortune, moved into your sector of resources. And over the next year, it's going to handsomely reward you if you really roll up your sleeves and add to your natural inspiration bucket loads of perspiration. But Jupiter is forging in the first couple of weeks of this month a right angle with Mars, and Mars itself moved late last month into the sign of Capricorn, which for you is very much about the future. It's about friends. It's about your interactions with others in this particular area. Mars itself is about instant gratification. It's about our egos. In the 11th house, it can be pretty good at not being quite so dominant. There's a bit more of, well, as long as I can be myself, I'm quite happy for you to be yourselves going on. It's a very Aquarius kind of location for it. However, it still is going to be quite forceful at times this month. But in this right angle with Jupiter, this is where there's potential for you to have an idea or scheme in your mind and really pitch into it with an enormous amount of effort and commitment. But I really would just try to keep yourself grounded and not get too sucked in without doing that analysis. But on the first day of this month, there's also a new moon, ironically, in the sign of Libra, and it's near enough to Jupiter for Jupiter just to be providing a little bit of an echo. This new moon ordinarily would be rejuvenating your potential around long-term finances, anything to do with property, this is in a prosaic sense, investments, shares, pensions, savings, all this kind of stuff. But also in a more philosophical and spiritual way, it's about your deepest connections to somebody else or others. And there may be something that's set to change this month, particularly around the full moon, which occurs on the 16th. You need to be with people where the commitment is not a burden, it feels natural. If it does feel a real burden, that full moon of the 16th and its connection to Uranus, the most rebellious influence in the heavens, could see you want to pull away and be free to do your own thing when you want without checking out what someone else feels. But also in the first week of this month, Mercury's in an ace location for you because it can help you be quite attuned to other people, listen to what people say. It's given us a fair degree of practice because it's been in the sign of Virgo for some while and it rules this sign. But then it moves on the 7th deep and passionately into your 8th house. Great for getting underneath the surface of situations. It's not what people tell you this month that counts, Pisces. It's what they really mean. So be attuned to the politics. It's vital. And Venus, the planet of love and attraction, well, that's in a lovely part of your horoscope for the first near to 3 weeks in the sign of Scorpio, your sister water sign. And that's helping you to feel open to different people from different places. Be probing for the truth about what your love life and closest relationships mean. But I have to be honest with you, the sun, this new moon in the 8th house is about passion. And it is about what really switches you on and makes you feel connected. If you feel connected in a way that's meaningful, all will be well. If it's not, if it feels possessive, brief, I think that clash between Jupiter and Mars is going to start to rake that up almost straight away. And you could find yourself spinning out of groups anyway that maybe you've been involved with for some while, particularly if there are undercurrents of politics which you don't really enjoy. You may find yourself needing to recast a new social circle. Some friendships could go. It may not be a close personal romantic tie that could end this month. It could be a friendship, as Mars goes alongside Pluto in week 3. Very powerful stuff. This is all about you getting really in touch with what you want from your long-term future, and you may be prepared to be a bit more ruthless in clearing the way in terms of how you're going to get there. However, there is also a change when on the 18th Venus moves to the top of your horoscope, a very responsible area for Venus. This can help us think more about long-term relationships. If you get through any storm that happens on the back of that full moon, I think Venus will help to solidify things if it's meant to be. If you're looking for neat freedom as the Sun and Mercury arrive in Scorpio on the 23rd and 25th respectively, that's just going to increase your desire to do what's right for you, the individual. The last week of this month also sees Mars having one heck of a clash with Uranus. This could see you very tempted to splash out on something that suddenly you just want, and you want it now. And it could be a big ticket item, but whether it's actually going to be really relevant to you longer term, that's another matter. Then again, maybe you're attracted to someone in your circle or some new friend who just seems to be very hot and seductive, and suddenly you're up close and personal. But whether it would last is another matter, because freedom is definitely going to be the thing as this month comes to a close. So essentially, I think we could sum up this month, Pisces, for you by saying the connections you have with others that are truly meaningful will get stronger. The ones that aren't, that are throttling and stop you being an individual in the way that you need to be, can make way for new, much more appropriate associations. Or if you're just someone who's a bit more of a free spirit and individual, you're going to be becoming much more aware of what you want in terms of your deepest connections, and that's around loot and around sex and around any other thing, material thing that really does appeal to you. And as the month comes to a close, the need to be authentically free is going to be very strong indeed. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.